Jiren the Grey has shaken the foundations of the Dragon Ball universe, and today we're taking a closer look at the anatomy of this rumored great of Universe 11. Part of the Pride Troopers, Jiren is a morally upright and equally destructive force of sheer power and resilience. He is a protector and he believes in speaking with his actions more than his words. But don't mistake him for being a brute force, because Jiren uses his strengths in a calm and composed manner, rarely wasting it or boasting about it with a display of unnecessary showdowns. But how is Jiren so powerful? Why has his addition to the Dragon Ball canon rattled the imagination of fans, and where does his power come from? Is it comparable to the gods? Does he hold true to the rumors floating about him at the Tournament of Power? Today's Marvelous video is going on a deep dive to answer all these questions. Who is Jiren? Where is he from? Jiren's introduction in the Tournament of Power arc sent quite a shockwave across the Dragon Ball multiverse. After all, nothing excites fans or the brave hearts in Dragon Ball Super like a good challenger whose reputation precedes his arrival. Yes, Jiren had a good reputation for being absolutely powerful as a Pride Troopers member from Universe 11. Yet, his identity was kept as a teaser for everyone's imagination. Where did this stoic fighter come from? Why is he in everyone's conversation, and is his strength and power a big rumor, or is it true that he is more powerful than the Destroyer? And most importantly, why was Jiren participating in the Tournament of Power? A closer look at Jiren's past tells us all that we need to know about his role as the Pride Trooper Maverick ruling the Tournament of Power. So here are the answers. Unlike the other members of the Pride Troopers, Jiren doesn't believe in proving his pride or boasting about his strength to anyone. Besides, he does not believe in using power to kill, destroy, or simply for the heck of it. He has a strong moral code that helps him use its power if and only if it is necessary. Despite having the power equal to a god, Jiren does not believe that it should be used for personal enjoyment or any sadistic motivation. He does not use it for personal gain, but from a protector's point of view. Power for Jiren is a responsibility, and he took up this responsibility after he lost his home, his parents, and his master. Let's take a closer look about why this responsibility created the Jiren we know in the current storyline of Dragon Ball Super. How did Jiren become stronger than a destroyer? Every character can be set on a path of revenge or a path of redemption after a tragic loss. In Jiren's case, losing his parents and his home became his motivation to become a protector figure and use his powers to maintain the peace and harmony as a Pride Trooper for Universe 11. Most importantly, his master's death became the core of his purpose to join the Pride Troopers. So when Jiren participated in the Tournament of Power, it was because he wanted to use the Super Dragon Balls to restore his destroyed home. Jiren wanted to bring back what he had lost with the powers of the Super Dragon Balls, his family, his master, his home, and everyone that was annihilated for something that could not be justified in his eyes. Ever since he lost everything, it sort of put a mark on his head that if you cannot use your strengths and powers to defend yourself or others, then it's simply a loss. A loss you're responsible for as well, and you alone have the power to counter it. So losing was never an option for Jiren, but it also didn't mean that Jiren would use his powers to exploit or just plain conquer. As we mentioned before, he is a powerful extraterrestrial being with strong ethics. But ever since his introduction into the Dragon Ball Super series, a rumor began circulating and captured the attention of our audiences regarding Jiren's character. He was rumored to be stronger than a destroyer. Now, we all know that a destroyer is the apex, the top of the food chain of strength and power in any universe. Destroyers are the counterparts of the godly Kais in every universe, but Jiren was said to have defeated the destroyer of his universe and shocked even the gods he served. Now, imagine someone looking stoic and calm all the time, and he gets compared to a destroyer? That was the competition coming to the Tournament of Power from the Pride Troopers. Jiren's combination of deadly strength, training, and a strong moral code of justice and honor made him seek strength, and this motivated him to join the Pride Troopers and then make his entry into the Tournament of Power to find a chance at restoring and reviving all he had lost. Talk about motivations, and Jiren had his strongest one amongst the rest of the contenders of the Tournament of Power. The biggest speculation in the Tournament of Power came from the rumors of Jiren's training, and it sort of became a myth. But Jiren's training alone hadn't helped him. His sacrifices were guided by his moral sense for justice, and he believed in using power for the sake of the right causes. It was his sole purpose to be a Pride Trooper. Being a part of the Pride Troopers helped Jiren ensure that no danger affected Universe 11 and the beings who inhabited it. This came from his own loss, and his motive came from the wish that he did not want others to suffer the same fate as he did. Besides, he truly stood the test of a lifetime, and his place in the Pride Troopers was well-deserved. In fact, he is even better with his use of powers and authority. Major Pride Troopers won't spare a chance to show off or boast, but Jiren is headstrong with his duties and believes more in making his actions speak louder than words. That's why he was the talk of the town in the Tournament of Power. How durable and resilient is Jiren's body? Throughout the Tournament of Power, Jiren displayed remarkable and inhuman durability that told us a lot about unparalleled anatomical powers. It set him apart from his opponents and peers in the series. One of the most striking examples of Jiren's resilience was seen during his battles within the Tournament of Power against Goku. Now, we know that Goku is the pinnacle of Saiyan strength, but Jiren's ability to withstand Goku's onslaught of powerful attacks showcased his extraordinary endurance. He could match Goku's assaults, endure devastating blows that could easily overpower even the most formidable opponents Goku had faced. While facing Goku's Spirit Bomb, a destructive technique, Jiren's capacity to face it was unparalleled. He became the second being in history to survive an attack from Goku's infamous tactic of the Spirit Bomb. This moment stood out and did justice to the rumors about Jiren's powers, durability, and made him sort of invincible in the eyes of the rest of his opponents. Strong characters like Goku and Vegeta have encountered opponents capable of pushing them to their limits. However, even these opponents have faced defeat in the face of their overwhelming powers. Jiren, on the other hand, looked untouchable to any physical harm and set a benchmark for durability in the tournament. If we compare him to characters like Frieza with regenerative capabilities, Jiren's durability comes from his innate capacity to endure attacks and not heal at the spur of the moment. His endurance surpasses powerful entities such as Cell or Majin Buu. In the case of these two characters, their regenerative abilities are formidable, but they pale in comparison to Jiren's abilities. He can simply recover without any fast self-healing abilities. Even under immense pressure or while facing overwhelming odds, Jiren's durability and resilience helps him to overcome any attack, physical or even psychological. So, Jiren's fights during the Tournament of Power did complete justice to his myth by showing how anatomically superior he can be. His level of durability sets him apart from his opponents or his fellow comrades of the Pride Troopers. His ability to endure the most powerful attacks, survive Spirit Bombs, and still keep fighting made Jiren one of the most durable and resilient fighters in the Tournament of Power and also in Dragon Ball's history. How can Jiren push back enemies with a glare? How fast are his attacks? Jiren's agility combined with his speed can be very effective with his technique called the Infinity Rush. This ability helps him move and strike at blinding speeds, and these attacks are nearly uncatchable for his opponents, let alone defend themselves against it. The Infinity Rush technique showed everyone in the Tournament of Power the true range of Jiren's extraordinary abilities. It used a barrage of lightning-fast punches delivered with such rapid and precise attacks that it looked like a blur. This flurry of blows overwhelmed opponents, leaving them incapable of evading or countering the individual attacks. Jiren became a truly unstoppable high-speed combat master with his Infinity Rush technique. His execution of this technique was similar to witnessing a storm in motion, with strikes converging together on his opponents with his relentless intensity. The sheer velocity and volume of punches shocked both the audiences and his opponents, and his brilliant reflexes against his opponent's attacks are just the cherry on top of one very stormy cake. Moreover, Jiren's general speed was itself on par with the speed of this signature technique. His swiftness in his fights against formidable adversaries like Goku and Hit showed how effortlessly Jiren could outmaneuver attacks and counter them with his speed. It almost made them struggle to even keep up with him. During his fight with Goku, Jiren's rapid movements went beyond the Saiyan's expectations. Jiren evaded attacks with such speed that even Goku's heightened perception struggled to keep a track on his motions. This proved that Jiren's ability to operate at super velocities went beyond conventional standards. Characters like Goku and Vegeta were pushed to their limits when they faced Jiren's lightning-fast assaults, and we all know how super fast these Saiyans can move. Jiren's speed becomes a defining factor and makes him a real big threat even for the most formidable fighters opposing him. The use of Jiren's high-speed Infinity Rush is always strategically deployed. His ability to execute this technique helps him to overwhelm his opponents by rarely giving them a chance to defend themselves with this barrage of attacks. Jiren's high-speed combat with the Infinity Rush technique makes him one of the formidable fighters in the Dragon Ball universe. Can Jiren destroy planets and universes like a destroyer? Does he have God Ki? Despite not having the power of destruction anywhere near to the destroyer gods, Jiren's colossal ki can be used destructively to set his surroundings on fire and potentially wreak havoc on a cosmic scale. Unlike the distinctive god ki possessed by deities like the gods of destruction or supreme Kai, Jiren's ki isn't divine. However, the sheer intensity and magnitude of his ki are staggering and go beyond conventional energy manipulation that's seen in the Dragon Ball series. When Jiren unleashed his ki, its intensity was so epic that it consumed the surrounding environment in flames and was a definite indication of the immense power he harnessed within him. Despite lacking the specific ability to wield the power of destruction of destroyer gods, Jiren's raw power alone has the capacity to destroy multiple planets or even entire universes. Throughout the series, several episodes showed the potential devastation he could unleash. In the Tournament of Power, Jiren's clashes against opponents like Goku and Hit showed fans the overwhelming force he could use. His battle against Goku in his Ultra Instinct form created cosmic shockwaves. The shockwaves generated by the clash spread across the arena. It hinted at destructive consequences that Jiren could unleash with his full strength if let loose. Furthermore, Jiren's ability to effortlessly overpower opponents like Top and Hit makes his raw power go beyond conventional limits seen before in the Dragon Ball Super series. His attacks, even when used with limitations, are capable of shattering barriers and overwhelming defenses with sheer force. Comparatively, while destroyer gods like Beerus have the power of destruction, they can erase celestial bodies or even entire universes effortlessly with this godly power alone. But Jiren's specialty lies in the potency of his raw power. His ki, though not divine in nature, has an aura of overwhelming energy. If he fully unleashed it, he could potentially rival or surpass the abilities of destroyer gods. While he may not wield the specific abilities associated with divine entities, his raw power has the potential for cosmic scale devastation. What is the source of Jiren's explosive power? Can he use Ultra Instinct? Dragon Ball Superhero introduced a controversial concept that steered debates within the fandom: the revelation of Jiren's relaxed state. This state, although introduced recently in the movie's conclusion, sparked controversy in comparisons to Goku's Ultra Instinct. Despite the nature of this revelation, it was an important addition. The relaxed state that is speculated on by Vegeta in the epilogue of Dragon Ball Superhero presented a shift in Jiren's combat approach. It's characterized by a serene and composed state similar to meditation in the middle of a chaotic battle. This state helps Jiren to harness his power more efficiently without using his brute force. However, the concept of Jiren's relaxed state has created controversy amongst fans, and parallels have been drawn to Goku's Ultra Instinct. While both states seem to bring a sense of tranquility and heightened combat abilities, they differ in their origins and execution. Ultra Instinct is attained through intense training and rarely takes shape to give Goku his instinctive fighting abilities and swift movements. In comparison, Jiren's relaxed state appears to come from his innate composure and mastery over his own powers. It enables him to tap into his abilities more effectively without needing a complete transformation. The controversy surrounding Jiren's relaxed state is complicated. The Dragon Ball series has a history of introducing new transformations, abilities, or states that might seem debatable initially, but eventually becomes an integral part of the storyline. Therefore, despite the debate, Jiren's relaxed state is a part of his abilities and comes from the Dragon Ball series' pattern of evolving and expanding a character's capabilities. The potential of Jiren mastering Ultra Instinct in the future is a bit more complex, and it's uncertain how far this ability can truly go. Goku's Ultra Instinct comes from intense training and unique circumstances. On the other hand, Jiren's strength lies in his own power and control. While it's not entirely impossible for Jiren to achieve Ultra Instinct, it would require a big change in his character development to bring it on a similar plane as Goku's use of the Ultra Instinct. Moreover, Jiren's strength is different from Ultra Instinct. His power lies in his immeasurable strength and fighting instincts rather than the intrinsic, natural movements seen from the Ultra Instinct. So the revelation of Jiren's relaxed state added a layer of complexity to his character. Despite the controversy over his ability and its comparisons to the Ultra Instinct, understanding the differences between these states is more important. The potential of Jiren's power coming closer to the Ultra Instinct is always open to change, and we can only wait and watch where this arc goes for him. Is Jiren one of the strongest DB characters? Can he defeat Beerus, Broly, or Whis? Jiren's strength has the potential to surpass formidable characters like Belmont, Beerus, and Whis. but the true extent of his powers remains to be seen. To scale Jiren's powers, his defeat of Belmont, the destroyer of Universe 11, made him an immensely powerful warrior. However, the hierarchy between Belmont and Beerus in the manga reveals that Beerus is stronger than Belmont. This implies that there can be potential matchups involving Jiren and these characters. A hypothetical showdown between Jiren and Broly can come with uncertain outcomes. Broly's unexplored power, his immense strength, and rapid growth could potentially put him on par with Jiren. When it comes to Jiren versus Beerus, the god of destruction, his true powers remains largely unexplored in serious combat and would be interesting to watch on screen. However, a matchup between Jiren and Wiz, the angel to Beerus, can be one-sided. Wiz, as an angel, has superior strength, and it is closer to the gods of destruction, so this can also come across as a one-sided fight. In conclusion, while Jiren's victory over Belmont shows his extraordinary strength, predicting the outcomes of Jiren's battles with characters like Broly, Beerus, and Wiz remains open to interpretation. Broly's potential growth poses a challenge, and Beerus' true power a mystery. Wiz's status as an angel places him in a league of his own, making these potential matchups very interesting to watch out for. Marvelous verdict. Now for the marvelous verdict on this enigmatic alien. Jiren justifies all classifications of strength, endurance, and power to carve out his own place in the Dragon Ball pantheon, and this speaks volumes about his potential. With an upright moral and a good use of power, Jiren is the protector every universe should have, and he proves this effortlessly in every showdown of the Tournament of Power. Jiren is the one to watch out for, and we can bet all our predictions on his abilities. This is one hell of a fighter that is one of the strongest Dragon Ball characters in its wide canon so far.